This is just a sample of the audiobook. To get the complete audiobook, access the link posted in the first comment.
Theory and computer modeling. So you make the computer games that the children play? Kirsch sensed the bishop was feigning ignorance in an attempt to be quaint. More accurately, Kirsch knew, Valdispino was a frighteningly well-informed student of technology and often warned others of its dangers. No, sir. Actually, game theory is a field of mathematics that studies patterns in order to make predictions about the future. Ah, yes. I believe I read that you predicted a European monetary crisis some years ago. When nobody listened, you saved the day by inventing a computer program that pulled the EU back from the dead. What was your famous quote? At 33 years old, I am the same age as Christ when he performed his resurrection. Kirsch cringed. A poor analogy, Your Grace. I was young. Young? The bishop chuckled. And how old are you now? Perhaps 40? Just. The old man smiled as the strong wind continued to billow his robe. Well, the meek were supposed to inherit the earth, but instead it has gone to the young, the technically inclined, those who stare into video screens, rather than into their own souls. I must admit, I never imagined I would have reason to meet the young man leading the charge. They call you a prophet, you know. Not a very good one in your case, Your Grace, Kirsch replied. When I asked if I might meet you and your colleagues privately, I calculated only a 20% chance you would accept. And as I told my colleagues, the devout can always benefit from listening to non-believers. It is in hearing the voice of the devil that we can better appreciate the voice of God. The old man smiled. I am joking, of course. Please forgive my aging sense of humor. My filters fail me from time to time. With that, Bishop Valdispino motioned ahead. The others are waiting. This way, please. Kirsch eyed their destination, a colossal citadel of gray stone perched on the edge of a sheer cliff that plunged thousands of feet down into a lush tapestry of wooded foothills. Unnerved by the height, Kirsch averted his eyes from the chasm and followed the bishop along the uneven cliffside path, turning his thoughts to the meeting ahead. Kirsch had requested an audience with 3 prominent religious leaders who had just finished attending a conference here. The Parliament of the World's Religions. Since 1893, hundreds of spiritual leaders from nearly 30 world religions had gathered in a different location every few years to spend a week engaged in interfaith dialogue. Participants included a wide array of influential Christian priests, Jewish rabbis, and Islamic mullahs from around the world, along with Hindu pujaris, Buddhist bhikkhus, Jains, Sikhs, and others. The Parliament's self-proclaimed objective was to cultivate harmony among the world's religions, build bridges between diverse spiritualities, and celebrate the intersections of all faith. A noble quest, Kirsch thought, despite seeing it as an empty exercise, a meaningless search for random points of correspondence among a hodgepodge of ancient fictions, fables, and myths. As Bishop Valdispino guided him along the pathway, Kirsch peered down the mountainside with a sardonic thought. Moses climbed a mountain to accept the word of God, and I have climbed a mountain to do quite the opposite. Kirsch's motivation for climbing this mountain, he had told himself, was one of ethical obligation, but he knew there was a good dose of hubris fueling this visit. He was eager to feel the gratification of sitting face to face with these clerics and foretelling their imminent demise. You've had your run at defining our truth. I looked at your curriculum vitae, the bishop said abruptly, glancing at Kirsch. I see you're a product of Harvard University. Undergraduate, yes. I see.